Birdie practice consists in playing the same hole over and over until you birdie it and then you move on to the next. So hole 1, I'm gonna play the short version of this park, and it's 80 meters. I'm using a Firebird, champion Firebird that I know it's gonna fade hard and skip, so I'm confident if I throw it to the right side of the trees, it will end up close to the basket. So very easy putt. This is probably the most birdieable hole in the park. Hole 2, it's a pain in the ass with those trees in the middle. Either you go straight at it and risk the tree, or you go wide right. I'm going slightly to the left, and I'm a bit lucky because it rolls a bit towards the basket. Still leaving me with a pretty long putt, but something doable with no wind and good weather conditions. This one I've been throwing a lot of sidearms, but with a low ceiling and with good grass, I prefer the roller. This one came a bit left, but I trust the disc that is gonna roll to the right like this and leaving me with a good chance for a birdie. So still pretty far, and again, if the weather is good, if there's no wind, it's kind of an okay putt. Now here, 104 meters, it's supposed to be a par 4, but it's a hole you want to still do on 2. I go straight at it with a bit of any, and I hope that it will fade just before the big tree and bush, because I don't want to be stuck in the middle of it, leaving me with a decent putt. It's quite a challenging one. I think it's the longest I've tried so far, but still possible. It's pretty sure it's outside of the circle of 10 meters. Now here, the same disc, but now sidearm. Just throw it over the lake flat and hope that it fades, and trust the disc. Came up a bit short, but not that short, so still a good possibility for birdie. A little uncomfortable because it's slightly uphill and the footing is uncomfortable, but doable. Now the shortest hole in the park, 63 meters. You should just go straight at it with a mid-range. In my case, I don't like driving with putters. So the TI Buzz is a very reliable. I gave it a little any and I hoped that it faded on time. It almost aced it, leaving me with a pretty acceptable putt. Another short hole, slightly uphill. There's a lot of bushes, a lot of trees. So here again, going straight at it and hope that it fades just before it gets into the lower area, so it doesn't go too far. It hits the tree here. It was perfect. Very short putt. "96 meters. It goes up, then it goes down. It feels like a really far hole for players like me that don't throw very far. I'm throwing a nuke, hoping that it will gain as much as I can, leaving me with still a pretty long putt. So here you gotta be a bit lucky. You gotta practice those long putts and trust your putters, because if you don't have 96 meters throw, then you just have to go for this. Finally, hole 9, I'm throwing a G-Star Destroyer. It's a disc that has a strong fade and quite a big skip. So in this case it works very nicely to get under the tree and get close to the basket.